Welcome to our community. If your team was owned and run by a group of individuals who were corrupt, who had dubious connections, and terrible human rights records, how would you feel? Would you still support your team? Would you feel your team's been tarnished? Would you just feel that you have no choice? Today we will discuss chairmen of football clubs who taint them. As football fans, we all hope that our owners are rich and extremely wealthy, that they can afford any player and any manager. Most recently, Newcastle United, Manchester City, and Chelsea have had owners with deep pockets, so deep that they changed the club's course of history overnight. But how does it feel to be a supporter of a club whose owners have a dubious past? Perhaps through human rights, perhaps through the source of their income. Does it tarnish your love for your club? If your club goes on to win, is it simply because they have a lot of money? Would you not prefer to support a club that done things the right way? Today, we will start with Newcastle United, who have recently been taken over by Saudi backers. Newcastle United, a team well known from the northeast of England for its entertaining football and swashbuckling teams. However, most recently they've done very little, and under the helm of Mike Ashley, even more so. That was until a takeover in October. An official statement was released by the Premier League, a £300 million takeover of the club by an investment group led by the PIF, Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, in association with some smaller partners. At the time, it wasn't really a surprise, as this public investment fund had been trying to gain access to Newcastle United and ownership for some time. But when it was all said and done, and was almost a given, Newcastle United became the richest football club on the planet. There has been a lot of mudslinging and accusations aimed at the club, and especially regarding the ownership and their connections to the Saudi state. But can everything they bring be labelled as bad for the game? Well, let's look at some pros. Firstly, the level of this takeover means that there will be more fortunes for the Premier League, which is due to increase the TV rights, and its portrayal will be even bigger in the Middle East. This in turn will surely entice Fortune 500 companies to become major sponsors due to its increase in its reach across the globe. As if it's not big enough already, that is. But hopefully, some of this money will trickle its way down to the football pyramid in this country, i.e., down to grassroots. Secondly, the takeover makes Newcastle a stronger club. With funding being spent across the board, infrastructure, backroom staff, all of the things in the backroom that most fans don't see, will hopefully help to bring in bigger and better players to have another top challenger in the Premier League. And in turn, another challenge in the Premier League is good for the country as a whole. Not only for competition for the league itself, but another one of our clubs challenging for top honours in Europe. This has to be seen firstly by signing a manager in Eddie Howard, who seems to have instantly got the supporters on side. His style of play and intelligent comments are made to not only galvanize the fans, but also to endear them towards him. Thirdly, with more revenue being pumped into infrastructure, Newcastle United can once again aim to be one of the top academies in the country. With better coaching at youth level comes better players in adolescence, and in turn, better players for the first team. This can only be a good thing for not only Newcastle United, but let's think nationally as well. It is often said that the Northeast is the forgotten part of the country. Well, with some of this investment, the Northeast and surrounding areas are bound to benefit, not just the club. So, those were the pros. How about the cons? The investment fund is actually owned by a foreign investment group in Saudi Arabia. Currently, 70% of all English Premier League teams are owned by foreign investors. This makes the league and the United Kingdom vulnerable to these foreign investors, as these investors possess control of the league. As for the PIF, although a legally binding agreement has been written and signed that Saudi Arabia as a nation would not interfere in the dealings of the club, there would probably still be some influence from the sovereign nation. Furthermore, with the PIF's relationship with the Saudi regime, it has been claimed that Saudi Arabia is using the takeover as sports washing, using sport to turn our away. Sports washing is a term used when a country authority tries to deflect away from any negative aspects associated with them. With Saudi Arabia, it's mainly attributed to a very poor human rights record. They've also used boxing in order to do this. Thirdly, having the readily money available in such a quick fashion just leads to the stereotype that Newcastle United are just going to buy their way to success. The same label that has been thrown at Chelsea, Man City, and also across the waters, PSG. They were able to outbid rivals and pay higher wages. This was a huge advantage. They could also pay for players in order to avoid other teams from purchasing them while they kept the bench warm. No real football fan, especially of other teams, enjoy seeing teams get rich owners come in and enjoy success rather than spending time building slowly or having a really good season with some very shrewd, perfect signings. Kante, Mahrez, Vardy spring to mind straight away for Leicester when they won the league. But whatever it is you think of Newcastle United, their fans or their Saudi owners, it certainly looks like they're here to stay. And with the recent run of games and some very good performances, maybe it is time for a new team to ruffle some feathers in the top league of the world. But as a fan, how does it make you feel? Whether you're a fan of the club or fan of another club. Please give us a like and a subscribe, and we will certainly start to bring you more and more videos for you to enjoy. Thank you.